you telling me that the Rings of Power is good?
Hey, this. All right. So
You're talking about the Lord of the Rings?
yeah.
That was on Prime.
All right. So that like you saying that has had me having huge issues about watching the Bad Batch because you like Rings of Power. So I was like, like I don't know. This he really liked the Rings of Power. So
That's all right. That's okay.
all right. So we're gonna get all right. So now that we finished discussing Fallout 3, I have to give it to you. I actually watched 3 episodes. I almost watched 4 of the Bad Batch. All right. It was pretty good. And the one thing that I thought about was I wish the rest of Star Wars was like this.
That's what I told you. But didn't I tell you they should have made Ahsoka like
Mhm.
this type of series, not
Right.
that fake ass Jedi fighting can barely move the lady. What's her actor? What's the damn actor? I first forget her actor.
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah,
Yes.
can't even move, and she's like so slow. Like, dude, she's a fucking Jedi.
Yeah. All right. So since we're gonna get into the Bad Batch, and this is our third topic of the night, uh, the thing that I like the most, I'm gonna give overall the first 2 episodes before we get into it. The thing that I like about this is that the people who did this understand the fundamentals of storytelling and to how to leave little things that you find like later, right? And not from what I've seen, I don't know how the rest of the seasons are, but the first 2 episodes, what I did notice is they set up and pay off stuff. So it's like nothing magical happens. The little girl is just a little girl. She acts like a little girl. She is not like
Well, she's a clone.
yeah, even though she's a clone, but she still acts like a little girl.
Yeah.
And that's something that we have not been getting a lot of in the recent memory when it comes to stories where you get a 110-pound woman who is kicking the shit out of a 6'3", 250-pound man.
When was this series released? I haven't watched it yet, but
How long ago did the first episode, Rick?
This is 3 years ago. First, yeah, every year it was a new
oh,
season.
okay.
This is their final season. I'm like, why the final season?
All right. I am interested in checking out the first 2 seasons. My only hesitation is if I would have talked to you about Star Trek, like Picard, and I told you,
Try.
no, if I would have told you to watch the 3rd season of Picard, the 3rd season of Picard is really good. Well, it's good. I don't really, but it depends on how you feel about it, but it's pretty good. But if you was to go back and watch the first 2 seasons, those are shit.
Remember the Star Trek used to come on regular TV?
Yeah.
What was it? On Channel 13, huh? In LA?
The original Star Trek.
I forgot Channel 13. I forgot the name of the channel.
Yeah, that's the reason why you wind up getting an actual movie is because it went into syndication and people and children started watching it like later, like in the 80s and 70s and all
The
that
movie
shit.
looked pretty good. The one that came out, I thought it was pretty good. I watched a little bit, but I never got to finish it.
Are you talking about the first one? The first one with the old
the last
cast.
one that made it Star Trek.
All right, so you're talking about like New Trek, not New Trek, but the Kelvin Timeline Trek. That's the newer ones.
Oh, okay.
What I'm referring to is the one that came out in the 70s.
Oh, fuck. I was not even born.
Yeah, I'm a little older than you. All right.
You're going back fucking 15 years, man.
Well, dude, I ain't going that fucking far. All right. But it came out in like the end of the 70s, going into the 80s kind of thing. So it is the first Star Trek movie is different from the rest of them. Yeah, the first one is like the like 70s sci-fi kind of thing, where it's kind of like you look at it like, oh, okay, this is different, but it's like all the movies that came out at the time. All right. But we're kind of getting off of the Bad Batch, talking about Star Trek.
Yeah. Let's go back. Let's go to the Bad Batch.
Okay, so how much of this do you spoilers do you want to hear, Eldon?
You can go for it. I mean, I was planning to watch it soon.
What do you
Okay.
mean? Come on, man. Star
Yeah,
Wars.
All right.
I
Well,
was not at home like the last couple days.
yeah, he's
Well,
out
stream
getting his
it on your Disney
freak
Plus
on.
or something.
There you go.
All right. Well, the first episode basically is, I thought they got captured at the end of the second season, right? That's the gist of the little.
Well, the girl got captured the second, the last episode, second season.
All right. So what happened? So how did the other guy, the one with the crosshair, cross face or whatever his name is,
Well,
the
he
other
was with the Bad Batch, but then in season 1, he went back to the Empire because they thought he was like a loyal soldier, stuff like
Mhm.
that. So
Okay.
then in the second season, he killed an Imperial officer.
Mm-hmm.
So they sent him to the planet where they have the what they call the mountains that I forgot the name of the mountain. They have the where they're doing
The
all
experiments.
the secret cloning.
Oh, you talking about the planet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tetis.
I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't tell you.
Well,
Like,
anyway, that's why he was jailed with and then him and Omega escaped, and then he reunited with the Bad Batch. He was he was a loyal soldier, but then he found out how the clones were treated.
Mhm.
An Imperial officer, but he killed one of the Imperial officers.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, this takes place after she got captured, and what's cool about it is they do show the passage of time, and they do it visually. It's because modern storytelling is they just tell you. In this one, her hair grows. Seriously. Yeah, as simple as that is her hair grows, and she is marking off the days on her wall. So everything else is more monotonous. They come get her. She does a little task or whatever. But when she goes back to her room, every time they show her going back to her room, she has more X's on there. And she's always looking out the window, and she builds her own doll. And this is why I said she acts like a little girl, is because she builds her own little doll, and eventually they take it from her because she's not supposed to have any possessions.
Yeah, that'd been funny to try and make her a Jedi. Huh? That'd be hilarious.
They're doing something. So it is they're doing experiments on the clones, and one of the ladies from Genosha, I think that's what it is the one who was her benefactor, I guess, or something like that on the planet, and now she's helping them with this secret thing where they do all these weird experiments. Which
Well,
you find
there's
out,
people that the clones they become rogue, or they're housed there in jail, and they do experiments and brainwash them back again.
Yeah. So you find out they give you an idea of some of the experiments that they're doing in the second episode.
Yeah.
All right. So this one is just setting up the situation that she finds herself in, and she's having conversation with the clone who she sees all the clones as her brothers because they're all clones, so that she sees them as her family, especially the Bad Batch. That's her family.
Yeah. Well, the Bad Batch, you have to remember, they're a special clone force, like a special forces that they came out a little bit different compared to the other clones.
Yeah. So it is her going through. So I actually, and from the first look through, because I watched it twice, I actually enjoyed the second episode more than the first one because the second episode had a little bit more action in it. But from looking at the third episode and going back and watching the first episode, I see all the little story elements that they dropped through the first episode that make me enjoy it more. From her taming the animal, which pays itself off in the third episode, and how she over time gives the clone guy hope, because at first he was like, you need to escape, don't worry about me, that whole bit.
Yeah, Crosshair.
Right. So she actually gives him hope by just being a good individual. She's a little innocent little girl, and that actually gives him hope. And when she manages to when the I don't know what the name of that is, it's not a dog, it's like like a mix between like a lizard dog.
Yeah.
Thing.
A hound. I think call them a hound or something.
Right. So when she domesticates it again by them showing over time, so nothing it like they give you an indication that this is taking place over time. So her what all the stuff that she does, it's like okay, so she domesticated it. It gets hurt. She helps it to heal, and even though it's healed, they're still gonna kill it anyway because she domesticated it. Basically, she made it so that that in their minds cannot survive all the wild creatures in the wild.
Yeah, because there were all those creatures out there. They're like experiment that they were doing, and they're out of
Mhm.
control. So that's why.
Right. So, to keep them from killing it, she basically she fights the
The
robot.
robot.
Right. But she doesn't do it like how they do it normally, where she just flips and kicks it and somehow like no, she drops something on it and then shocks it with the baton that it was going to use on her.
So basically, you're saying it was good, right? The Bad Batch.
Right. So dude, I watched 3 episodes.
I told
I
you.
almost watched 4, but it was getting kind of late and I had to go to work today. So yeah, I probably I watched it the second one and then like next week. All right, hold on.
No, it's the you have to watch the fourth one. There's still the fourth one.
No, I'm gonna watch like so for next week we're gonna talk about the third and the fourth episode, and then like the week after that I'll be like we'll be caught up to where they're at. I mean, instead of sitting there and trying to talk for about it was bad enough that me and Elton couldn't talk about a TV show that was 40 minutes long and it took us 2 hours to talk about it because it was so bad.
What was that? Ahsoka?
Ahsoka, what else did we talk about?
Don't you mean the greatest show of all time?
That shit was bad,
Gosh.
man. Not even though I
Dude,
like
it was-
Star Wars, that shit was bad. Fuck.
Bro,
It was
so
almost
bad.
like homework watching that thing. It was a struggle.
Dude, it was because it was shit every 5 minutes that we can go to this and talk about that, and it's like, all right, okay, so why would you go to another universe? And then when you see the dude who you broke all the crap to do this with, you see him and you go, "What's up?"
Yeah,
Like,
you never see him
like-
for years or whatever, right?
right? You ain't seen this dude in 10 years, and you hit him with the "What's up?"
Hey, how you doing?
And don't even get started. Don't get me started on the fact that he lives 5 minutes from the secret base of
Oh
the.
yeah. I remember.
And Thrawn with the pot belly and all
Oh,
these
yeah.
unfinished
And then made,
storylines.
they made what's wrong with he looked fat.
Yeah, and he kept failing. So this is supposed to be the guy that you stranded in another universe because he's so dangerous that we gotta. But he keeps losing. He keeps losing to this out of shape Jedi and her maybe not Padawan. The ships can't hit this damn ship. But
I think we need to rewatch it.
bro, all right. So when they first go to when they find the other ship, the one before they go to the other thing, it spots them coming out of hyperdrive, like hyper whatever, on the other side of the friggin' solar system, and can send ships to go attack them, but it can't find them in a friggin' asteroid belt, like right underneath. I'm like, what the? I was like, oh my god! Like, what am I watching?
Wasn't it like in
Back
one
to
of
the
the?
Bad Batch. We're going off topic.
Yeah, okay, all right,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Back to the actually good Star Wars show.
I like that show, but fuck, that was bad.
All right, okay. So I digress, right? So she lets the animal go. The guy goes, it won't survive, and they show you that it actually did by showing you the creature yelling and screaming, like later in the episode. So I was like, okay, show it to me, pay it off. Show me something, pay it off. I'm like, okay. And I didn't really notice all of that until I watched the third episode.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm like, oh, okay. So now second episodes, we have two of the members of the Bad Batch trying to get information to find Omega.
Yeah, Hunter and Wrecker.
Right. So then the one that looks like Rambo. He
Yeah,
looks like Rambo, dude. I was like, what the hell? Is he an homage to?
that's the leader of them.
Huh?
That's the leader.
Yeah. So the leader is Rambo. He got he got the bandana and everything.
I was about to ask, like, does he have the
Made
bandana?
him the leader to be the general and stuff.
Right. So he got the bandana and the mullet.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And he has the Rambo knife too. He pops out with the Rambo
yes.
knife.
Right, dude. It is. Yeah, it is
No.
Rambo. I'm like, dude, they got Rambo and like, it's like I
I'm
got you.
sold.
Yeah. So this one is when they and this is how you find out about the crazy experiments that they're doing, because where they get some information to go of Omega's whereabouts, and they go to this particular planet and they find 3 more child clones who were left there because they escaped, and like I think everybody else was either left with the people that they're looking for, and anybody who was left was killed. Right? Like the clones were killed, and the experiments were like let loose or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a jungle full of creepy shit. Dude, that's the best way I can describe this. Is a Sarlacc on steroids. Just huge, like, so they go into this ship to go get some information on where they left. Like once they find out that they left, they go some more information to find out where they went. So they got to fight off this creepy vine. That's what the clone kids call it, creepy vines. So one of them goes with them, and they're going through the little thing, and they start to get the information. It is a classic sci-fi or actually action movie trope where they need to get some information. It takes a while for them to download the information, so therefore they have to fight off insert bad guy. It's either he could be either assassins or pirates or like whatever, right? In this case, it is a giant something or other. You don't know what it is at first, but it has multiple tentacles that are attacking them from every direction. So our Rambo and his large friend
Wrecker
is fighting off while the kid clone is pulling information. Meanwhile, the other 2 kids, because they've been stuck on this planet for God knows how long, they're contemplating taking their ship. And like they're having it's one of those things where you can kind of understand how they feel, because they think that the other ones are going to be dead, because like nobody survives going over there. And it's like, but they still have a kind of a crisis, because like while they were impressed by these Wrecker and Rambo, I know that's not his name, but
looking, you could call him Kamina or Hunter, but
Hunter. All right, so Wrecker and Hunter doing all of this to save this person, to save Omega, and they wish that the other clones did that for them. So they kind of have a crisis. So as they sneak on their ship, one of them notices one of Omega's dolls, which is cool. What's cool about that is this doll is the original, and like she actually made this doll again on the first episode out of wires that she found. So I'm like, all right, okay, that's a nice little, again, payoff. This is how you tell a good story. It's little stuff like that. It's like, okay, so she misses them and the life that she had, and it's making this doll reminded her of that. Right? You would think so? Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay. I like as I'm looking at it, and I'm like, man, I wish the rest of the Star Wars crap was like this. An actual good story.
Wow, we haven't had that in a while.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, okay. So we got something going on here. So by seeing that, one of the kids, they have a change of heart, because at the exact same time, their clone brother is calling for help. So they kind of like look at each other, and then it cuts to them fighting again. So they get their information, they sneak out. Was that their droid? The box droid, is that their droid, or that was just something that they found there?
No, that's the Bad Batch droid.
Okay, it's interesting that they chose that particular droid as their. Is there reasoning behind that?
No, they just got off. I forgot from season 1 or season 2. They just had them in the ship.
Oh.
It was always in the ship.
Well, I mean, like the thing about like the Star Wars, like bad writers, they just put stuff that's familiar with other people. Like so they typically use an astromech droid because everybody knows about R2D2.
Yeah, or
So
Chopper.
right. So the fact that they used a boxer droid was cool. I'm like, oh, okay. So this is a droid that everybody should be who's a fan of it would know, but it's not one that they normally use in any of these types of stories.
Yeah, I think they got them from a junkyard or something like that. Season 1.
Okay.
Like a junk. They gave it to them or something for a mission that they did.
Yeah. And so Wrecker is carrying it around like a backpack.
And this guy, yeah.
So he's running around with this giant box droid that's upside down, and he's fighting a giant tentacle monster in the dark. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So when they get out, there's like a river of slime or whatever the hell that stuff is next to thing, and they're fighting, shooting at the thing. So they jump on a piece of metal that's floating by, and they're surrounded. And as it looked like they're screwed, a light shines on them, and the kids are flying their ship. So they fly on top, and they drop down a bunch of lines so that they could pull them up to the ship. So as they jump on the lines, the monster reaches up and grabs the ship, and they're shooting at it. They drop a bomb in because this is when you find out that it's a Sarlacc. Is that how you pronounce that? Sarlacc pit? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How they transported that damn thing to this planet, I don't know. Because I don't even know where the hell these things come. I always thought they were just on Tatooine. So maybe they brought it there to experiment on?
Yeah.
Why would you want to make something like that even more dangerous? I don't know. But
I would understand.
They're like 5 rows of claw-like teeth. They drop a thermal detonator into its mouth. Doesn't do anything. They tell the kids to get the other explosives. They drop all the explosives into his mouth. And what I found was interesting was Wrecker, when he dropped it directly in the middle of its mouth, went straight down, hit nothing. When the kid did it, it bounced around as it was counting down, give you a little bit of tension. Bing, 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 bing. And then it rolls down the Sarlacc's stomach and blows up all the explosions on the inside like popcorn, which kills the thing and it lets it go. And then they find out as they're escaping that it doesn't tell them exactly where they went, but it gives them an idea where to go. And then they drop the kids off. They're going to drop the kids off at another planet that they know of, like some island or something on some planet someplace.
Yeah, it was a planet that they feel safe at.
Okay. So, and that's basically how it ends. So it's like, and